said that Nipsey has encouraged you to sort of make peace with people like Meek, saying that, you know, we're much stronger when we're united.
Nip gets all the praise. I'm used to beefing a certain way. Like, when it's on, it's on. It's all I've done my whole career. I could have died in my beef with 50. 50 could have died. We was really shooting that shit. And you remember? Like, you remember.
Absolutely.
It was, me and 50 wasn't rap beefing. We were shooting at each other. Like, I was flying 70 Bloods to New York for no fucking reason. Do you know how much 70 motherfucking flights cost? I hadn't seen 50 in 11 years. Seen him in the club last summer, and we chopped it up. I asked the nigga, was, you know, Angie gonna die? Nigga was like, you know, he told me before the shit came out. So when the nigga 50 told me Angie was gonna die, I was like, all right, it's my nigga again. This nigga said to me, he was like, Game, I don't even know what happened. And I was like, big cat. But at the end of the day, man, like, me and 50 were great at a time when we needed to be, and we serviced hip hop as a whole.
Yo, man, hit that like button. Yo, so you see, we all got that one cousin or that one homeboy of ours that just, they bend the truth just a little bit to make their story sound more extravagant than what it is. And that's Game. And Game is a you know, he's a talented artist. No one doesn't like him because of his music. It's the capping, and it's funny because he said 50 was capping. Nigga, that nigga hat all day. He was lying so much in this interview with Everyday Struggle. And speaking of Everyday Struggle, yo, academics is a struggle to look at right now. Yo, you are no longer on YouTube doing clips in your mom's basement behind pictures. Nigga, you are on a web series. Okay, y'all got the ghetto hip-hop first take thing going on. Nigga, get in the gym, get on the fucking treadmill. This nigga look like he having a hard time breathing. Like, that, it don't make no sense. What happened to having pride in your appearance? But that's another thing. So Game was on there reflecting about his G-Unit days. I'm a huge G-Unit fan. I grew up in that era. So what I'm about to tell you is not opinions. It's just facts. He's talking about how 50 and him had a shootout and he flew 70 Bloods to New York. Get the fuck out of here. Look, whoever he already had in New York was who he already had, his entourage. You didn't fly 70 Bloods to New York in a drop of a dime. What he's talking about is the incident on Hot 97 in 05. 50 was on Funk Flex with Yayo and Banks, and he denounced Game from the crew. That footage is actually on YouTube. You can look it up. And someone taps 50 on the shoulder mid-interview, and they tell him, yo, we gotta leave. And then 50 was like, oh shit, one of my niggas got shot. And somebody downstairs had got shot. One of Game's people had got shot also. Game was at Power 105 a few blocks down. But it was no, I flew 70 Bloods. He be doing too much, bro. And you wasn't out there on some John Wayne shit doing the shooting yourself. 50 was doing an interview, and you was doing whatever else, you know. Capping, that's the first cap right there. That's the first one. Then he says they were the Beatles of hip-hop. Now they were. And what separated G-Unit from all the other crews in hip-hop history was you never seen 5 niggas come out with that type of success and they all went platinum. Even Yayo went platinum on House Arrest. Say what you want, Yayo went platinum. Rather it was off the momentum or whatever, Tony Yayo went platinum, nigga. And they had the pop charts, the radio, all of that on Smash, and they was dominating the mixtape circuit at one time. You'll never see anything like it. They had the mixtape circuit on Smash at the same time as the radio and the clubs and the pop charts, the billboards. And Game benefited off of that. He sold 5 mil his first album. But when he says they was going on tour and they did 500,000 a show, he was never on a G-Unit tour. They only did one G-Unit tour, and that was the Rock the Mic tour. Technically, that was 50's tour with Jay-Z. And he brought Banks and Buck on the tour. Yayo was in jail, and everybody came home with $1.5 million. That is a fact. That's how Yayo came home with money in his pocket, basically. He got paid even though he wasn't there. Game was not yet on G-Unit at the time, so Game was not featured on that. He got none of that money. He didn't do one tour date, one appearance. Game was on Aftermath, and Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine was about to cut him. If you think I'm bullshitting, go watch the In the Club video. He's in the video with a white t-shirt on and a black bandana doing the two-step. He's in the video because he was on the label already. They didn't know what to do with him. They was going to drop him. And then they put him with 50 and said, light bulb went off, this gonna work. And it worked. He didn't make his first appearance until after the Rock the Mic tour was over. And his first cameo was in Poppin' Them Things. He had a cameo in the Poppin' Them Things video, and Buck gave him a shout out. You ain't a Crip like Snoop, you ain't a Blood like Game. That was his first appearance. Up until that point, he had not been featured on a mixtape, album, anything. He wasn't even on the first G-Unit album, Beg for Mercy. They recorded that while they was on that tour. So that right there lets you know he wasn't on that tour. He's lying. But like I said, he's been in the truth because it makes his story sound better. And then he's telling everybody he's still spending money from 11 years ago. We was making 500,000. Niggas, stop. This is why a lot of rappers get sued and niggas be getting hit left and right, getting robbed and shit. Niggas be flossing. People are starving out here, and you dangling food in front of motherfuckers. Nigga, that's why you gotta pay $7 million now. You know, I wouldn't be telling people I'm still spending money from 11 years ago and I got a $7 million lawsuit to pay. But that's just me. But you know, Game is just extra, always been extra. This is why a lot of people don't fuck with him. He's got people upset because he's been jacking Nipsey all year, living off of Nipsey's name, because he hasn't really been relevant all year outside of this, you know, this new case he's got. You know, I don't think anyone's really booming about the last album. I mean, who gives a fuck? But he's been given every shot he can to keep Nipsey's legacy alive. That's what he claims, but he really is riding Nipsey's, you know, coattails. And it's funny because Whack 100 just came out a couple weeks ago and was like, yeah, Nipsey, based off the gangbang and shit, he got what he deserved. So you're saying one thing and your manager's saying another thing. Whatever. I'm pretty sure if you watch that interview, he cleared that up too. But Game was capping hard, you know, and that's what he's always done. You know, like I say, this isn't opinions. This is subjective. You know, he was in the biggest crew of all time at that moment, but he wasn't a part of the video games. He wasn't a part of the clothing line, the sneakers. He wasn't. He was there for a year and some change. 2004, they finally let him get on a few mixtapes and a few features. He was on Banks' album, Buck album. There was no G-Unit tour. Banks had the Hunger for More tour for his promo for his album. Buck had his own tour. That was it. You know, so what is he talking about? You know, but and the thing is, I know the storyline, so I don't trip. But you got kids who are younger who didn't grow up in that era that are gonna watch that, and they're gonna base their knowledge off of what he's saying, and he's not telling the truth. And 50 of them ain't gonna say nothing because they know how he is. They know that's Game's character. Like I say, he's that cousin or homeboy of yours that just bends the truth to make the story sound good. You just kind of live with it and accept the nigga for who he is. And that's what Game is, you know what I mean? He's first team all cap, you know? First team all cap all day. And he was doing it on Everyday Struggle. I'm not going to spend an hour of my time watching that whole interview because I just can't take it, you know? But that's what I got out of it, dog. So let me know what y'all think if y'all watch that show, man. DJ Academics, bro, that nigga look crazy out here, bro. That nigga, that nigga need to hit the treadmill or something, bro. You making too much money, my nigga. Try to fix yourself up, but my boy, come on now. I'm out of here, man. Hit the like button.